Channel 2 investigation has uncovered serious allegations against a local judge who had a mother thrown in jail and her children taken from her. Now a higher court says that shouldn't have happened, and the mother wants everyone to know it. Channel 2 investigative reporter Jodie Fleischer here with that woman's decade-long battle and what she is doing now.
Justin, you'd think after more than 10 years, Elisa Lowe would want to be done with court. But instead, she's getting ready to start a new fight, taking on the judge who she says misused his authority, his connections, and the public trust. She wants him off the bench and some judicial justice of her own.
I got sole custody from the very beginning.
You can tell from the pictures of Elisa Lowe and her boys how long ago her divorce and custody battle began.
Their father was not as involved as I would have liked for him to be, and he wasn't helping out with the child support and whatnot, so we started getting a little bit hostile there.
Still pretty normal for a custody case, until 2008, when her ex-husband hired Paulding Chief Magistrate Martin Valbuena as his attorney.
I would believe that he would be the most powerful man in Paulding County. He can write warrants. You know, he can sit and render decisions.
Do you feel like that's why your ex-husband hired him?
I do.
In fact, just a month later, Elisa found herself in jail.
I was astounded.
Arrested for interfering with child custody. Strange, since a court order from Coweta County gave her custody. Turns out her ex's attorney had started a new case in the county where he's a judge. A colleague granted an emergency order.
Without being able to talk to my children, I mean, I can just remember being on the phone with them just crying because I couldn't even talk.
And she had no idea why. The paperwork dated 3 weeks earlier showed up while she was in jail. The officer noted he'd spoken with the victim's attorney, Valbuena, before going to one of his colleagues for the warrant. Do you feel like it was appropriate to get that warrant?
I wouldn't have issued the warrant if the person didn't have knowledge that there was a custody order.
But Judicial Qualifications Commission member Lester Tate sees another side too. I
can envision situations in which the same sort of outrage that wants to be vented here would be turned around and vented against a judge for not issuing a warrant in that case. If you had a kid that ended up dead.
Elisa fought back.
Said I think I'm being home cooked in this, in Paulding County because they have absolutely no jurisdiction.
The criminal charges weren't dropped until 3 years later. Then Georgia's Court of Appeals ruled in her favor that Paulding never should have heard the case.
The best day of my life. I mean, I just screamed and cried.
Especially since she's been representing herself. I mean, you went up against 2 judges at the Court of Appeals and won.
I know.
By yourself.
I know. I can't believe it.
She paid special attention to the canons judges are supposed to follow.
You should never be able to tap your colleague to sign an order or get some kind of influence or something that would benefit either you or your client.
Former Georgia Supreme Court Chief Justice Leah Sears didn't want to talk specifics of this case, but said someone should.
The JQC should go through this very carefully.
That's just my goal, is to get out of this. That's just my goal, is to get out of this, make these people pay for what they've done, and help other people so they don't have to deal with this.
Just this week, she filed a complaint asking the Judicial Qualifications Commission to investigate. The Court of Appeals ruling agreed with her that the court should consider whether sanctions are warranted against Judge Valbuena, but his colleague, who originally denied a sanctions hearing, said he'd now hold one himself. Judge Valbuena has not returned our calls.
So, Jodie, what is on the table? What could happen to the judge now?
Well, Justin, judges are typically immune from lawsuits. However, she says she is considering trying to file one anyway, alleging he acted outside of his authority and the law. Now, the JQC and the Bar Association do have a lot of power, though, ranging all the way up to removing people from office.
Got it. Jodie, thank you.